Hello, and welcome to Marking Out with My Girlfriend.
This is my girlfriend, Erin.
This is my girlfriend, Kat.
And we watched 10 hours of Wrestle Kingdom this week or something. It was a lot.
So I'm going to sound funny this week because I've been chewing on my tongue every night this week, which is not good. I might have to get a mouth guard again.
Yeah, that's rough.
But anyway, what do you want to start this week?
Let's start with, let us start with Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay, yeah. Wrestle Kingdom was this past week. I think it was Monday or Sunday night, Monday night. So we watched it Monday, Tuesday this week. Because I couldn't go 5 minutes on YouTube without seeing a spoiler in a thumbnail.
To be fair, that's because you watch a lot of wrestling YouTube.
Yeah, a lot. I had like 6 show up on the recommended page and 1 in the subscriptions.
Kinda your fault.
Kind of my fault, yeah.
So, Wrestle Kingdom.
Which was 2 days of event for sure.
Yeah. So let's start with New Japan Rambo Challenge for the King of Pro Wrestling 2021 trophy.
Yep. 2020 trophy was held by Toru Yano, who defended like 4 or 5 times, including a match against Okada, who introduced the whole concept. Because he didn't have a belt, so he had to win something, and then he didn't.
He lost to Toru Yano. So this was a fun little Rumble.
Yeah, it was a 21-man Royal Rumble style event.
It's supposed to have been 22 originally.
Yes. And then someone had to pull out.
And I don't know who. I don't think they mentioned who.
Yeah.
I think, but that would explain why everyone was so confused. So this match had an interesting ending. The finish to this match was that the final 4 people remaining would go on to face each other in a match on the second day of Wrestle Kingdom. So, after going through what I think was actually a pretty solid, like, Royal Rumble style match.
Oh yeah, they did really well. They're doing 1-minute intros between people instead of 2-minute or whatever. So it actually went a lot quicker and kept a better pace.
The flow was very nice, having it be like, guy.
Especially because everyone was entering from the exit ramps. So it took them a minute to get to the ring anyway.
It took them like 2 minutes to get to the ring. But yeah, no, it worked out really well. The whole thing was a lot of fun, interesting to watch. The ending was perfect, though.
Yes. The ending came down to Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale of the Bullet Club, Bushi of Los Ingobernables, and Toru Yano was the number 21 spot.
Now, it just so happened before Toru Yano got into the ring that the 5th remaining person was eliminated.
Who was Yuya Uemura? I'm gonna guess. I'm sorry. So yeah, he gets eliminated as Toru Yano is coming up the ramp. And so the match just stops because they've got their final 4.
Right, so Toru Yano doesn't even get into the ring.
And he's advancing.
And
which is...
It's deeply Toru Yano.
It's perfectly Toru Yano. Because his whole bit is like, YouTube star comedian kind of thing. So doing crap like this is totally perfect. It fits in with everything else he does.
Right, like it's very much that Japanese style of comedy too, where it's like a very physical based comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's still that little bit of like the element of the classic double act to it, even though it's Toru Yano making literally every other wrestler play the straight man against him.
Yup. Yeah, very well executed. We had a lot of fun watching it.
That we did.
Now, that was on the pre-show. On the main show, we get into a bunch of some setup for night 2, some title defenses and whatnot, starting with Hiromu Takahashi and El Phantasmo, who were having a match to see who would face Taiji Ishimori for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title on night 2. And they went hard.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, I think the general theme of Wrestle Kingdom is they went hard.
Yeah.
With the exception of Toru Yano and the, you know. But
if
they
you
went
don't take
hard.
years off your career here, where will you really?
Yeah, basically, like, if you are anywhere on the Wrestle Kingdom card, your goal is to take years off of your career for cool moments.
Mm-hmm.
And this match was amazing. Like,
now it should be mentioned that Takahashi was last year's Best of the Super Juniors winners, and El Phantasmo was the Super J Cup winner. So like they're not just randomly put together. Like they actually do need to do this to figure out who goes on. Yeah, the whole match was worked around. The match was worked around El Phantasmo working Hiromu's hand, so that it became harder to do a lot of strikes and everything. And yeah, in the end, Takahashi was able to pull it through. I cheered very loudly.
Yeah, like so it was a fun match. I appreciated the fact that El Phantasmo was kind of being a dick through the match. Like, he tried to do a Styles Clash. He tried to do a One-Winged Angel.
He did actually hit a Styles Clash at one point.
He did hit the Styles Clash. It was very silly. But yeah, like...
He kept making all these callbacks to former Bullet Club leaders. Probably just to like prop himself up.
Absolutely. It worked well for him, though. I enjoyed it.
Very much so.
Like, it's a good, like, 20-minute match to start off the card, which is always a good way to get, like, blood pumping, get people excited, get the crowd into it. That said, this time, as was requested by New Japan, they did have to scream in their hearts. Yeah,
because it's a Japanese audience and they'll actually follow instructions. And they only had a capacity of like 20,000.
Something like that. Yeah, what was the Tokyo Dome capacity? Or Tokyo Dome? Let's look this up.
Well, you do that. So it was weird. You know, one, watching it because we're in North America and we don't have fans at anything yet. And two, because there's so few people at Wrestle Kingdom.
They were on Tokyo Dome attendance for Wrestle Kingdom 15. The live attendance was 12,689.
Okay.
Which, pretty good. It looks like the numbers for night 2 were definitely below the 20,000 mark.
Okay. Were they higher than night 1?
No.
Oh, that's surprising, actually.
Between both shows, there were about 250 foreign fans.
Okay.
It's a little odd that they had that many people indoors, if I'm being honest. I think that many people indoors might have been ill-advised.
Possibly.
We'll see.
Unfortunately, we won't know for a bit still.
Yeah. Test and Trace app says everyone who was there got it.
No. I certainly hope not.
I hope not. But it's odd. It was also weird that there were that many people and that there was no noise. Like, they did take the whole scream in your heart thing very seriously.
Oh yeah, a lot of clapping, a lot of like the thunderstick kind of thing, which was actually really cool in the like exchanges in the middle of the ring, because they would do that in time and it would like echo through the empty arena, which was actually pretty cool. Yeah, I appreciate that actually.
That was good. So, our next match was the IWGP Tag Team Championship. Champions Dangerous Tekkers took on the Gorillas of Destiny. Which means we got to watch ZSJ and Taichi do everything that they do their acting up on the screen. Yeah, I liked it.
It was so much fun. I wasn't sure who to cheer for in it.
Well, that's the thing. The Gorillas of Destiny were booked kind of as baby faces.
Yeah, because Dangerous Tekkers have been really jackass heels the last 6 months or so.
Which I don't mind.
But also, Gorillas of Destiny are jackass heels always.
Yeah.
Although, I will say, Tamatonga with the clean shave, I'm okay with.
Yeah, Erin was very thirsty during this match. She had to get up and get water.
Yeah.
It was fun, though. I like this match a lot. I like that... It
was very well done.
Yeah, I like that they both had people ringside. So it wasn't like that obnoxious Bullet Club thing where one guy is ringside and just Bullet Clubs the matchup.
And yeah, I'm always a fan of seeing ZSJ work that super counter heavy style he has. And then seeing Gorillas of Destiny just throw him around was also very good.
Yeah, it was just like all around a fun match to watch because it was a lot of... It definitely felt like it was a little bit back and forth as to who I was supposed to be rooting for.
Okay, yeah.
Like, it did a good job of making both tag teams seem really good. And I like that.
Oh, yeah. In the end, it did come out that Gorillas of Destiny are 7-time now IWGP Tag Champions.
Not
a small feat.
7 times.
Not a small feat by any means.
No. Especially when, like, you think about all the tag teams that were in NJPW but 2 years ago.
Yeah. Teams like we'll get to in a little bit.
Teams that may or may not have added too much sugar.
Oh my god.
Too sweet me, Erin.
I can't believe you did that.
Too sweet me. Quickly, before people have to look at my gross nails. So, our next match came with a pre-match video.
And this is what I had spoiled for me, actually. Is before the match, there was a promo of Mox in the LA dojo with the US Championship on him. Calling out basically whoever wins this match.
It was, yeah. Now, this match probably wasn't as hype as it was originally booked to be. But it was still good. Like, I enjoyed the match. It just... I would have preferred Juice Robinson in the match.
That would have been good, but he wasn't able to make it for the event, so.
Which is understandable. You know, we live in weird
for an
times.
Injury, yeah.
So, like, we've gotta make do and, you know, still appreciate the guys who put their asses on the line out there to go hard during a time when everyone completely understand not going hard.
But yeah, in the match we had Kenta taking on Satoshi Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really think I had any doubt that Kenta was going to win.
No.
Wasn't going to win at any point in the match.
Yeah.
But he still had to put up a fight for it, which, very good.
Satoshi Kojima is someone who, I guess you'd call him like one of the New Japan dads.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's a lot that's been going around this year.
Yeah. He's one of the New Japan dads who's definitely still able to bring the heat.
Yeah. Now, coming out of that, we get into a match that I didn't know I wanted, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
In Hiroshi Tanahashi and Great Okan.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hadn't really seen anything of Great Okan. This is the first time hearing about him, actually.
Yep.
Apparently he's big in Rev Pro.
Which checks out.
Yeah.
Given his costuming and the fact that, you know, the UK is deeply racist.
I mean, fair.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, Tanahashi over the past years had a really rough stop and start kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where, you know, he had the Jericho match was last year, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, so he had that. So he came off that and then kind of just stalled out. And then he had the thing with Ibushi where they're tagging and he kept losing matches for the tag team. And then he tried to get going another single star. And now we're into this where he's trying to really get a run going at something.
Yeah, and like, it definitely was an interesting match to, like, because a lot of this match was, is Tanahashi still a top guy, kind of. Like, that was the story question. And they did a very good job of making the Great Okan look like a legitimate, like, menace.
Very big, very intimidating, very hard to move.
Explicitly, definitely helped Tanahashi's image.
Yes.
So, you know, this was a match that I came in with a limited amount of hype for. And kind of blew me away in a lot of ways that I, you know, really appreciate.
No, they definitely won me over watching this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, I didn't know what to expect going in. I wasn't really eyeing it up as anything else. But yeah, I'm very glad I got to see the match.
Yeah, and like, you know, I wouldn't call it like a complicated match.
No.
But that's where Tanahashi shines.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because he can take those simple matches and make them look really incredible. And like, you're like, okay, Tanahashi, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Tanahashi-san. This is good. This is good stuff.
No, it's very good stuff.
Then there was a match that just didn't happen.
Yeah, I know something happened with our feed. We had to skip that one.
Yeah, I think like our feed cut out.
Yeah.
Whatever. After our feed mysteriously cut out despite it being a VOD, we then joined right perfectly in time for what I would consider the first of 2 attempted murder matches.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That is at least what I'm going to call both of Kota Ibushi's matches. Spoiler alert.
Ah.
I mean, like, we're talking about
late
both
enough
nights.
Where spoilers are out that people have had a chance to watch it, so.
Yeah, we've waited almost a week. Anyway.
That's why we do this so late in the week.
Mm-hmm. So,
Kota Ibushi and Tetsuya Naito. I didn't know who to root for.
Erin was rooting for Naito because Erin is tranquillo like that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm an LIJ fan. I'm also an Ibushi fan. This was a wonderful match, though, of two men just dropping each other on their necks.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to break each other's necks, because that's just what they end up doing every time they have a match.
Yeah, and like, they've had some very, very highly rated matches, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and this one's going to be right up there.
I definitely agree. Like, I'd say probably, like, comparable to maybe their 2019 New Japan Cup match in terms of goodness, if that makes sense to you at all.
Yeah. I'm just looking up real quick. Yeah, this was a 5-star match, according to Uncle Meltzer.
Good to know. I appreciate that for a match that, you know, you expect the two guys to try to murder each other. They
still came up short?
Well, no, that it started slow.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of chain wrestling going on in this.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, it's something that Naito's been working on lately. And Kota's just really great at adapting to whatever style he's put up against. It's actually a keynote for the match on the next night.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like, this was one of those matches that felt... every once in a while, you come across a match where you watch it, and suddenly the announcer is like, 30 minutes have elapsed.
Yeah. 30 minutes gone. 40 minutes to go. What? You've done what? It was a 30-minute match, so.
Yeah, it was 38-ish, but Sanjupun is what the announcer said, and I was like, excuse me? Sanjupun?
You do what? How did we get here?
Basically, this match was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's two guys that love working together,
mm-hmm.
even if that means one of them's probably going to die eventually.
The thing that I appreciated about it, like, so we got to see Ibushi win with the Kamigoye, which,
yep,
you know, always fun.
It's what he do. He put knees to face.
Mm-hmm. And then after Ibushi won the titles, Naito handed them over to him.
Yeah, they had a little bit of standoff. It looked like Naito wasn't going to relinquish them. Like, he grabbed them from the ref and was walking around.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they came into the middle of the ring and he did pass them over.
Which is very distinct from the fact that at G1, he didn't even shake Kota's hand after the match.
Yep.
Which is a code of honor violation. Riccaboni.
Oh, Rick of Honor.
We watched the Ring of Honor pay-per-view a while ago, and whenever that last was, and one of the guys' names is Riccaboni, and I swear to God I thought he said Rick of Honor. And I just laughed about that forever. So, Rick of Honor, if you're out there.
Thank you. We have more in-jokes.
But yeah, no, Producer Raitsu says, as you can see in chat, Nakamura taught Kota well in the effectiveness of knees to skull.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a very effective move. Okay, let's talk about the golden elephant in the room, shall we?
Okay.
It's just a V trigger, right?
No, when it's a leaping knee strike, that's a V trigger.
It's
when
just
you're
it's
when you're holding the guy's arms and pull him into your knee, that's a Kamigoya.
It's just a V trigger, right?
Oh my friggin' god! Are you still drinking that crap?
Erin, I've barely put a dent in it.
I'm going to try that sometime, and it's going to be terrible.
I'm going to bring it up with me when I come up to Canada.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, I got my passport today, so...
Oh, I know. It's a step closer.
Yeah, I assume the application will get approved, but... We had to sign an affidavit.
Yeah.
Use it as a mixer? Oh my god. Erica, that's the worst idea I've ever heard.
Ugh.
I couldn't know. I guess it... Wait. A vodka trigger.
Vodka trigger?
Oh, nope, you've convinced me. Because it... now that I think about it, right? The flavor distinctively reminds me of the shot you get. This is narrow casting for people who've been to one particular bar. Erin, don't tap out Erica.
It's what they deserve.
Okay, well,
for the vodka trigger.
Okay, so there's a particular bar called Stormcrow Manor in Toronto, and at that bar you can roll a d20, and you get a shot based on what you roll on the dice.
I know what story this is.
And if you roll a 20, you get the special double shot that is vodka, lemon juice, and powdered sugar. And you get a commemorative shot glass that you get to take home.
Good.
So, Erin, of the two of us, let's also bring Emma into this because she was there too. Raise your hand if you got one of those shot glasses after rolling a 20. Emma can't raise her hand because Emma still hasn't won one of those shot glasses, despite having gone there far more times than either of us.
Emma hates us talking about this.
I know. That's why I have to talk about it. But yeah, so, no, the V-Trigger pre-workout kind of honestly tastes like that.
Okay.
Minus the vodka burn. Plus caffeine. Ooh. I feel like I would die.
From the downer, from the vodka to the caffeine.
Well, like it's the caffeine and the vodka and the fact that I'm on Wellbutrin.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to drink a lot of alcohol in Wellbutrin. And Wellbutrin increases your heart rate.
I've never had a vodka.
I wouldn't do yeah, it's more the mixing of the alcohol, the caffeine, and the medication all at once.
Yeah.
So basically just don't do it at 9 o'clock in the morning when I take my meds.
Fair. That's one way of looking at it.
Anyway, all jokes aside. This match, the Naito versus Ibushi match that we were still talking about and got distracted by, was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. An amazing match. A lot of big high spots. Like we said, start off with a lot of chain wrestling, which was very cool to see.
Okay. Thank you, Erin. I was about to do it myself. Not that it matters, because you can still see it. Yeah, so Ibushi wins both belts.
And he will be moving on to night 2 to face Jay White. But there's a lot of night 2 to get through still.
Yes, there is.
Because this was another 4-hour show. Because we didn't get the dark matches, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's 2 Stardom exhibition matches at the start, which are not on the VOD and may not be released anywhere.
Yeah, they may literally just be for the people who were at the Tokyo Dome that night.
Yeah, so I can let you know that the matches were Queen's Quest, made up of AZM, Seiya Kamitani, and Utami Hayashishita. That's as close as I'm getting.
You want me to read the Japanese names, Erin?
Go for it.
Okay, hold on. Where do you have... Can you send me the card? Hold on, I'll find it.
I'm just looking at Wikipedia.
Okay. I can do that. You don't need to send me anything.
I already did.
Well, I'm not going to look at it.
Fine.
Yeah, so AZM, Saya Kamitani, and Utami... Hold on. This is Utami Hayashishita. Okay. Utami Hayashishita.
There we go.
Versus Himeka, Maika, and Natsupoi, who are Donna Del Mondo.
And then there was a second Donna Del Mondo in the second dark match.
Sayuri and Julia defeated Mayu Iwatani and Tam Nakano.
But yeah, we haven't seen those matches. I'd like to.
I think all of us would. But, you know, you do what you can.
So for us, the event opened up with the 4-way for the King of Pro Wrestling 2021 trophy.
Yes, so we got to see more Toru Yano.
Actually get into a ring this time.
Mm-hmm. He got into the ring.
He was booked for 2 nights and he only actually worked 1.
Which is great, good for him, you know.
Genius.
Respect the game. So yeah, no, this is good. I appreciate the Bullet Club guys mocking the finger poke of doom.
Yeah, Toru Yano and Bushi would not get into the ring at the start.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided, you know what? We're just going to pin each other then. That got broken up real quick.
Yep. It's just it was a very, very funny match. Like, but it worked well. Like, it just worked in a way that you don't normally expect.
Yeah.
Like an opening match on a card to work.
Yeah, so what ended up happening was both Chase Owens and Balak Fale are in Bullet Club. So they both had the idea that they should be the one to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that got them distracted. And then they got onto the ref.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what Bullet Club does. They pack onto people. So then Toru Yano low blows both of them.
Yep.
And pins Bushi.
Yep.
So your 2021 trophy winner of the King of Pro Wrestling is again Toru Yano.
Mm-hmm. And we get
Long
another
may he reign.
We get another year of shenanigans. I definitely felt bad for Bushi. He kind of felt like he was there as a filler.
Yeah, he kind of got laid out by Bullet Club people and then had to wait there for like a good 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was
until he got pinned.
Uh-huh.
So like, yeah, he's got his job to do, but they could have been a little bit quicker.
Just a little bit. But anyway. So then we got the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship.
Formerly held by the Young Bucks, coming up later.
Erin, would you like to take a shot at these names?
Sure. So we had the champions, Suzuki-gun, which is made up of El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, taking on 1 or 8, who was Ryosuke Taguchi and Master Wato.
Ryusuke.
I came close.
You did.
Sometimes I'm okay with just close enough.
Yeah, no, it was a match. I think there were a little bit of, I think particularly Master Wado had a little bit of Tokyo Dome nerves.
Yep. Master Wado came in after Wrestle Kingdom, I believe, last year. So this might be the biggest event that he's worked.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, it'll get to you that first few times.
Yeah, and like, not for nothing, but this match was more about El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru than it was about whoever was challenging.
Yeah. This was the title match for the card and really made the champions look good going in and coming out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, but it is also the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship, and part of the problem is that this championship pair is just not going to get booked all that well.
Yeah.
Like, the Junior Heavyweight Tag Championship doesn't quite matter as much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of the lower priority belts. No, they won't. Oh, do you think it's some kind of Jedi waving a hand around like that?
But yeah.
Is Master Wado a Toydarian?
No.
Oh.
I'm not even going to entertain this. There'll be no Star Wars on this wrestling podcast.
Oh. You can... Oh, no, it's not in frame. I have a Star Wars Lego that's, like, right over there. Wait,
I mean, I got Star Wars stuff that's right up there.
Wait. I got it. Lightsaber! Pew, pew, pew. You can't escape, Erin. It's like Evangelion movies. You can't escape.
It's bad enough I do a podcast for this stuff.
Speaking of which, we are recording tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I hope my tongue heals.
That's a good point. Oh no. Okay, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I should be fine. If I can get through this, I can get through an RPG.
Okay.
Yeah, as I was going to say, is that I'm really hoping that... Okay, so for like 2021, Hiromu Takahashi has really like put it out into the universe to make it his mission to really push the junior heavyweight division up in the card and being like leading by example through that.
Right.
So, you know, if that means we start getting better and better junior tag matches that get up higher and higher in the card, I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
I'm really crossed my fingers and hopeful.
You know, there's a lot of people who have a lot of talent in that division that can absolutely do that. It's just how willing corporate is.
Mm-hmm. Now, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum of that, it's the never openweight championship held by Shingo Takagi taking on Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, this is the big meaty men slapping meat belt.
Oh my god. Did they ever?
Like, I appreciate Jeff Cobb coming back, his attitude, his whole like demeanor for this match was really solid.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure that Shingo is so solid after some of those chops.
No, there was
but they had mentioned throughout the match that it should have been renamed like the Badass title.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't disagree after watching this.
Yeah, it was very big.
It was hard hitting and kind of painful at times.
I mean, like, Shingo Takagi hit a tope con hilo, which is always a weird thing to see a Haas do.
Yep. And the thing is, Shingo Takagi is like the quintessential idea of when you think of a Japanese wrestler.
Right.
You picture, that solidly built guy with a little bit weird of a haircut who will strike you into the ground.
Mm-hmm. But, like, there were a lot of really cool spots in this match. Like, Jeff Cobb caught a sliding lariat.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, sorry, what?
Caught him, grabbed him, stood up, and suplexed him.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool.
Takagi did a superplex.
Yep. Now you might be thinking, like, superplex, everyone does that. Two giant guys did a superplex.
Yeah, two hosses did a superplex. Jeff Cobb did a goddamn moonsault.
Yep. and this is where I'm talking about, like, the emptiness of the Tokyo Dome and how it rang out with everything happening.
Mm-hmm.
It really was heard here.
Yeah.
Like, that might be the biggest tour of the islands I've ever heard.
Absolute. That was... Yup. It was just... I mean, like, it was a stellar match.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked really well.
Yeah. I definitely want to see them have more matches together. I want to see, like, just more of this division doing this.
Yeah. No, for sure. So, next match. This was the match that Erin was looking forward to.
I was looking forward to so many matches this card.
Yes, but particularly the revenge match, we'll call it.
Mm-hmm. With Sonata taking on Evil.
Also, don't forget Dick Togo.
Dick Togo. It's just funny hearing Evil talk.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is just more of the fallout from the past year when Evil turned on LIJ and joined Bullet Club in the feud they had for months on end. And it just kind of came right to a head here with Sonata and Evil,
mm-hmm.
and Dick Togo getting his nose stuck a good half dozen times, like where it actually affected the outcome of this match.
No, for sure. And like it definitely like leaned into that whole idea of Bullet Club always brings someone else out to the side of the ring, and they're always are a factor.
They're never alone. You got to watch four corners when you're having a Bullet Club match.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good heelish thing, and I like that about them. Mm-hmm. We will have more to say on Bullet Club later.
But yeah, Sonata looked amazing through this.
Yeah.
Like, he held his own. He took care of Togo. He took care of Evil. And, he took a lot of the biggest hitting moves he could and then avoided the ones that he probably couldn't have taken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was 3 spots of Evil just trying to hit Everything is Evil.
Yeah, no, it is a match that worked. It was a good capstone to that whole feud.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since it seems like they plan on keeping Evil with Bullet Club for a while.
Yeah, and it looks like they have other plans for Sonata now.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll get to later.
So our next match was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Taiji Ishimori and Hiromu Takahashi.
Mm-hmm. I think we should mention here Takahashi's entrance gear.
Oh, we should.
So usually when Takahashi comes out, he's got like this big vibrant thing that looks like it's covered in like rainbow colored tails and whatnot. So for Wrestle Kingdom, he had a plush blanket version of that.
It looked like a Snuggie.
I wanted one to watch the match in.
You're trying to find a picture somewhere.
I'm sure it exists.
Doubtful that yeah.
So yeah, now we talked about Shingo before being like the quintessential Japanese wrestler prototype look. This was a quintessential light heavyweight match.
Mm-hmm.
It was fast all the way through, but they still hit a lot of hard-hitting moves and just kind of bounced around and back. Taiji worked the handover that Takahashi had injured the night before. So it made it even harder for him to do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And just,
I legitimately can't find a picture of his weird Snuggie.
Really? I think I found a blurred picture of it. That doesn't help anything. Anyway, I'll try to find one later. See if there's like a YouTube video or something.
Wait, I found it. They're not high quality.
Is it better than the blurred one I found? Okay, yep.
I think that communicates it relatively effectively.
It was so comfy looking.
Wait, here we go. I found a GIF. It just looks very comfortable, and I want one.
Yep. I don't blame you. But yeah, in the end of this one, Takahashi does come out on top. He does reclaim the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope that at some point over this year, he's able to get it up into that main event spot.
Yeah, that would be really good, because, like, this was a very classic match, and I would like to see more presence given to this whole division.
Yeah, and the division has a lot of notable people in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we had El Phantasmo, we have Taiji Ishimori. I'm pretty sure Zack Sabre Jr. fits into this category.
Yep.
Either that or he's just really small.
Dense. Like a neutron star.
Dense. Oh my god. Like, this is a belt that was held many times by Jushin Thunder Liger.
Right.
You know, Kushida, Dragon Lee.
It's a
These are big names.
good title. It just needs the time to shine.
Mm-hmm. Like, getting the secondary spot on the card was amazing, and they definitely showed that they deserved it. But I'd like to see him get the main at some point.
I agree. So
Kenny Omega. Yeah, Kenny used to be a junior heavyweight. Imagine that looking at him now.
yeah. Cody also used to be a lot smaller.
Yeah, Cody used to be a junior heavyweight. The Bucks used to be junior heavyweights.
They've definitely all bulked up.
Kota used to be a junior.
Speaking of Kota,
Anyway. Yep.
our next match was the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championship double belt match between Kota Ibushi and Jay White.
This was a marathon.
This was could possibly be slightly better than Kenny Omega versus Okada.
Slightly. I could see the argument there.
I mean, they just laid it all out.
So it's about the same length that Kenny and Okada was. So that was a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Mm-hmm.
And this was only 1. And it clocked in at 48 minutes and 5 seconds. I didn't notice the first half hour.
No, the first half hour was like Sanjapun. And it's like, really?
Are we sure?
Are we sure about that?
Is your watch broken?
There's just like, it worked really well. Jay White was perfect play. Like, they both kind of played tweeners for this.
Yeah, Ibushi got into that murder Bushi mode a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets legitimately scary.
The Berserker Rage.
Yeah. Now, this is where I was talking about Kota Ibushi has a tendency to adapt to his opponent's styles.
Right, like one of the things that's said about Kota Ibushi is to fight Kota Ibushi is to fight water.
Yeah. Very much in the Bruce Lee philosophical sense.
Mm-hmm.
Jay White, his entire style is entirely counter-based. Very similar to Zack Sabre Jr., where they will pick apart an opponent by countering moves and working body parts.
Right.
It's a very slow, grindy style.
Which is hard to then adapt to because, like, countering a counter style, like, technique means that the opponent has to do something first, and it's hard to adapt to what the counter guy is doing because all he's doing is just countering the moves, and you have to like come with a third move ready for him. You have to be playing 3D chess on a 25-hour clock in order for this to work.
Well, he's halfway there. I don't think Kota can figure out chess, but he's on a 25-hour clock.
No, but he doesn't like golf or fishing.
Or reading. But yeah, this is where you see in the match, like, that murder Ibushi mentality kicks in a lot. He just starts shrugging off any advances Jay White makes and just powers through.
Right, and like the thing that I liked about Jay White is that you could tell that Jay White has one goal and one goal only. He doesn't care how many stars the match gets. He doesn't care what Wrestling Observer newsletter has to say. He wants to win, and he wants to do it with whatever it takes to win.
He might care what Marking Out With My Girlfriend has to say about him, but that's up on the air still.
Yeah, it's up in the air. Jay White, if you do listen to this podcast, or watch it, or whatever, thank you. You did an amazing job. I appreciate it. I love the whole vibe that you had through the whole weekend. It worked well. Keep it up. Never give up. Never surrender. But
other slogans. And I do find you hot.
If you do find yourself leaving New Japan and you want to make the jump to the US, Jay White, don't go to WWE. You're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
You're really gonna hate it. I know that's a lot of money, but you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna book you well.
Good. It's hard to say no to the money.
That's how they get you, but then they like fucking bury you, and then when you try to leave, they make you pay back your sick days.
Yeah. I cannot blame anyone who goes looking only at the zeros.
No, absolutely not. But like, I feel like someone like Jay White is doing pretty okay for himself, But if there's a company that lets you be a true independent contractor and wrestle for other companies, maybe make a consideration.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, this was it was a 48-minute marathon and an amazing match. And God, that ending.
Oh God, yeah. No, so Ibushi had to hit a Kamigoye both front ways and back ways in order to win this match.
Yeah, he planted a knee right in the back of Jay White's head, then just picked him up and gave him a bare knee shot to the front of the head. And he finally stayed down for 3.
It's also worth noting, Kota Ibushi is now the first and only person to kick out of 2 people's finishing moves. Because he kicked out of the Blade Runner, and he's previously kicked out of the fucking... Oh my god, I just drew a blank on the One-Winged Angel.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of accomplishments.
Yes.
Words are hard.
No, this was just such a good match.
Mm-hmm.
After Jay White lost, we had Sonata come out and challenge Ibushi to a match.
For whenever they can make the arrangement to.
I'm gonna be honest, this one doesn't excite me all that much.
It excites me.
I know it does, but it's just... maybe it's not my thing. But, you know, can't pick them all.
Yeah. And this actually bled over into the New Year's Dash, which we didn't watch, because I think that didn't come with the package I bought.
It did not. And we were tired of watching wrestling.
No, we really could have used the distraction. But yeah, there was a 10-man tag match on New Year's Dash, which was all of LIJ. So that's Sonata, Shingo, Hiromu, Naito. Was it an 8-man tag? Shingo, Sonata, Hiromu. Yeah, it was only 4. There used to be 5. Duh. I'm still stuck on that. Against Kota, Tanahashi, Rocky Romero, and...
Do you need help with this?
I can't remember the last one. Bushi, that's the one. Oh my goodness, I forgot Bushi. Bushi was the only one. Yeah, he worked. I'm bad at this.
It was fun though. Like I enjoyed Wrestle Kingdom.
I'm gonna see if I can find the listing. Right, okay. So yeah, Hiromu, Bushi, Sonata, Shingo, and Naito taking on Sho, Master Wato, Ibushi, Tanahashi, and Rocky Romero. And that set up 4 matches for whenever their next big event is.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot to come out of one match. Pretty cool, though.
The fun fact, there's no Wikipedia page for New Year's Dash 2021 yet.
Yeah, not surprised.
But anyway. Oh. That felt good. Anyway. What are we talking about next? Is it AEW this week? Is it AEW for the last year plus?
Oh gosh, we haven't done something about this. There's been a lot happening in AEW.
I specifically want to talk about Bootleg Club and then spend a lot of time dissecting a thread about the women's division.
Okay. I would like to throw in the Haas match they had this week and maybe just a recap of how we felt about the tribute show.
Like, just talk about Dynamite for a little bit?
Yeah, I think, like, specifically the Brody Lee tribute was pretty impactful.
Yes, we have not talked about the Brody Lee tribute. We took the week off last week, specifically, A, because it was New Year's Day.
Yeah,
B, I think we wanted a little bit of distance from the Brody Lee tribute show before we started blabbing about it.
Yeah, all I really want to say is I think that was probably the best tribute show I've ever seen done, wrestling company or otherwise. Like, not even having all of Dark Order in matches and going over, but the free flowing of emotion that you saw. Like, Yes.
It was really important and touching to see that they stopped giving a shit about storyline for one night.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about story? Who gives a shit about heels and faces? We're gonna put on some of the best matches we have in like company history,
and let the people who worked closest with him, in on that and give them a little bit of a shot to really show. Okay, I want to just a quick step back, in that the character of Mr. Brody came into AEW with the Dark Order with the stated intention of raising up the Dark Order, bringing up their confidence, and putting them on win streaks and making them big names.
Right.
And everything I've heard from anyone who shared in the past few weeks is that John Hubbard came into AEW and did that for all the people in the Dark Order on the backstage level.
No, he, I think, that's the thing that shows... I mean, there's a lot that we could say about, just the man that played the character of Brody Lee.
Mm-hmm.
That the people who knew him obviously have said much better than we can.
Yeah.
But
it's not our job to reiterate those points because those aren't our stories to tell.
No.
But what we saw out there was...
You could tell how much he meant to every single person on the roster.
Yeah.
Because, just about everyone was crying. And they let them... Jericho on commentary basically said, you're going to see a lot of people cry. And they should do that.
Dark ring dies.
You're going to see a lot of people who are in mourning. And that's why we're here. And that was good. Even if Jericho is a fuck.
Cry if you have to.
It was... I just... Literally everyone in that ring that night gave it their all. Yep. I don't think I've seen Colt Cabana go that hard in a long time.
Not in an AEW ring.
Never in an AEW ring. That was
the most he's thrown into a match.
Vintage Colt Cabana.
Even MJF being a complete jackass to Brody's kid.
And then taking the kendo stick to the head. I just... There was a lot that MJF did that in that match that just, MJF coming out with the Puerto Rican flag on his trunks.
Yep.
MJF taking a kendo stick shot, after bullying a kid. Just so many little things that, made it... People criticize that. And, I understand the reasoning behind that sort of a criticism.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think what MJF was doing was important.
Yeah, it was directly pulling Brody's son, or John's son, I guess, into this event. I'm sure the kid was asked.
Yeah, no. This was all, obviously it was all worked, but, as a kid who clearly likes wrestling.
Oh, yeah. He got a massive promo on Marco's stunt on Dark.
A promo that he wrote.
The kid likes wrestling. The kid's involved.
And it felt really nice to have that many people who were there taking care of him and everything like that. I mean, not for nothing. It's a roster where you have Brian Pillman Jr. on the roster. He's gonna know really well exactly what he's feeling. and be able to really help with that. And like, I think the whole locker room has kind of like taken Brody Jr. under their wings, and like, just, it's been, I want to, like, I've said this probably 4 or 5 different times and in different ways to different people. The job that Alan Angels had was probably the hardest out of anyone.
Yeah.
And he did a tremendous job doing that and deserves a lot of love and respect for being the guy who didn't wrestle and instead sat next to Brody Jr. and really just helped make that night magical.
Yeah.
You know, Austin Gunn too.
You couldn't not hear Austin Gunn all night.
Like, you know.
If you found him insufferable before, oh, he is obnoxious now.
But that's
but it's thing. So good.
That's like, it had the energy of a show with a crowd much bigger than it had.
Yeah.
And that was the right thing to do. Everyone brought their
all.
So anyway.
Now that's out of our systems.
This week's Dynamite
was yes. I would like to talk about specifically I blanked. No blank isn't on this show. Wardlow and Jake Hagar.
Yes.
This was a match we've been promised for a long time now. It's been kind of bubbling under the surface, ready to go.
What is it? Muscle titties and what's Jake Hager's?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Shitty nickname. We can give him one.
I don't want to think about it that hard.
The Oklahoma bigot.
Okay. Sure. But yeah, this was a big Hoss fight that we've been promised for a while. And it delivered, and Wardlow looked amazing through it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that real solidification of, yeah, this guy belongs where he is, and he's a threat to whoever he wants to be.
Absolutely. I don't think we wanted to talk about the Young Bucks. I think the one thing we should talk about is that Kaz basically said if he and Daniels lose as a tag team, then they're done as a tag team forever.
Yeah, they made that stipulation a few darks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just now coming out on the main roster show.
Basically, yeah. Mox comes out after that and cuts a promo about how sports unforgiving and sometimes you're on the bad end of a bad deal and you gotta endure, grit your teeth, take it on the chin, get back up, stare down adversity, and don't back down an inch.
Mm-hmm. And he's got no time for shitty people.
He's got no time for shitty people. This was... That statement in particular felt very pointed coming on Wednesday night. So yeah, no, it's nice. It's good to watch. I enjoyed getting to see Moxley.
Yeah, he's a unique energy.
It's weird that the guy who is right there ready to beat the tar out of you is also the guy who happens to be the moral compass of AEW.
Yeah, it's a weird balance going on.
A balance nonetheless. So we go backstage for Chuck and Orange updating us on... Yeah, Nick Gage is definitely that same kind of guy. Yeah, that's a good point. Feel. You know, he just wants to fight. You don't care who you are.
Just don't be a dipshit.
Exactly. So we get backstage, Dustin and Orange give us an update on Greg's titty.
His poor titty.
So Trent has torn his pectoral muscle and is out for 4 to 5 months.
Yeah, it is rough. It is what it is. You got to let it heal.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, then it won't.
Exactly. So Miro shows up in his weird Miro clothes.
I can't tell if they look expensive or knockoff.
Yes.
But yeah, Miro's making a whole scene about how Trent's not there and all the young boy jokes from the Japanese promotions. And so eventually Dustin just challenges him right out. I was like, fine, let's have a match. Let's just get this over with.
Mm-hmm.
Miro tells him, well, if you lose, you're going to be my personal chauffeur or whatever.
Specifically my young boy. Which is a very... It was weird, kind of pervy. It's a weird
term in English.
Kind of pervy.
Yeah. So he's just throwing his hands. Fine, whatever will get you out of here right now.
Basically, yeah.
Which is the energy I can appreciate coming from Dustin.
It's good. I like it. I also appreciate that Chuck Taylor basically has said, kayfabe, what's kayfabe?
I don't do kayfabe, except when I do.
Yeah, kayfabe is only important when I want it to be.
Yep.
Which is probably the right way to do it. We talked about Wardlow versus Hager, right?
Yep.
Did you want to talk about that anymore?
Hager looked amazing, and the F10 is a legitimate move.
It was a hell of a match. Oh, Snoop Dogg was there.
Yep.
Snoop Dogg goes back. We cut backstage to private party with some gin that is definitely not Tanqueray.
Nope, definitely not.
Snoop Dogg brings them some juice that is definitely not Ocean Spray.
Definitely not.
And then Matt Hardy comes in with new contracts.
Yeah, because he wants like 30% of their pay to keep training them or something. Mm-hmm. It doesn't sound like a good deal. It sounds like this one's jackass Matt Hardy.
Yeah. A little big money, Matt.
Yep.
So then we have a weigh-in. Team Taz is already in the ring. Darby has the brand new TNT title, which
looks pretty good now. They did away with the red strap on it.
I kind of like the red strap, though.
I didn't. After seeing it in black with the gold and the black coming through, like, that looks much better. That looks more official.
I like the red one a lot. Red and gold is just a good color combination.
Okay, Cat likes red straps. Got it.
Okay, look, we're not going to get into that on the show because it'll get us banned on Twitch.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
But you've seen the collection.
Okay, fair. This is the time when Sammy Guevara got it.
So anyway, we get the weigh-in. Cage weighs 272 pounds. Darby weighs 170.
Yep. I thought he'd be like a 130. Soaking wet with a brick in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they want to kick his ass, and then Sting shows up. And we don't really get any movement on their relationship. Like, I'm hoping we'll get something with the TNT title match next week. Because right now it's just kind of like, lights go out, there's Darby, there's Sting, Team Tess leaves. I can only follow this so long before I go, okay, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. We get a recap of the promo that -1 cut on Margot's stunt.
It's very funny. It's on YouTube. Go watch it.
Margot Stunt tries to talk about it, but then FTR run up, and Marco gets mad and says he and Jungle Boy are challenging FTR next week.
Yep, that'll be a lot of fun.
And then Tully Blanchard pats Marco Stunt on the head.
Yep.
Cody comes out with Snoop D-O-double-G,
Playing the part of Arn Anderson.
Yeah, who added some lyrics to Cody's entrance. This is a tie-in for their reality program, the Go Big Show.
Which they put all of the AEW accounts on one timer to post the reminder text. So I scrolled through 10 of them to get to anything else on Twitter last night.
It was bad. Jericho screams about how Snoop Dogg has jumped to AEW now.
Yep, because he's done stuff with WWE before. His cousin's still in WWE.
Yeah, and I kind of, so we have Matt Seidel versus Cody Rhodes.
Yes. Oh my god.
This was a fun match.
This was a very back and forth, high flying, technical, ground, whatever you want. It was in this match.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, Cody wins because he can't lose the night before his reality competition show goes live.
Don't want to make the reality show look like a loser.
Nope. You gotta put the reality show over, Erin. Erin, I do need you right here and now.
Okay.
To cut a promo for Go Big Show. Oh, you're really burying it there. Is that a rib?
Possibly.
Okay.
I'm not feeling this one.
This was a rib. This whole bit was a rib.
No, it was.
Anyway.
The more fun part about that match, though, was the Knight of Pentacle getting involved afterwards.
Yes, Sir Pentacle.
Because Cody accidentally punches him in the middle of the match.
Yes. Snoop Dogg does a really, really awful looking splash.
Yeah, the 5-star dog splash. I'm pretty sure that's the legitimate name.
Probably. Cody hits a couple crossroads. Ding, ding, ding. There's your match.
Yeah, he's moved up to just doing 2 now instead of the normal 1. Which kind of bears his own move, I guess.
Serpentico attacks. Luther attacks. They double team Cody. And then Seidel comes and helps Cody out.
Because he's not a sore loser.
Right.
His third eye is open and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. So our next match was one of my favorite matches of the night. Abaddon versus Shida.
I was watching this with you and Aitsu. And I remember Aitsu saying, it's like a real-time cinematic match.
Yes. Which is a very apt observation about this match. Abaddon does such a good job of bringing that essence of cinematic matches to the stuff that she does, because, like, she plays that character really well.
Yeah, with the extra makeup and the blood effects and just how she moves and acts, and she's already very cinematic.
It's definitely like a D horror movie, like I said here. Like, it feels very cheesy in a really good way. I could do without JR burying the character.
Yep. I don't need to be reminded that, yes, this is a human woman with makeup on. Not for these 15 minutes. For these 15 minutes, that's a goddamn zombie.
So, Abaddon attacks before Shida even gets into the ring. Shida's got a kendo stick. She cracks Abaddon over the head with it.
Yeah, and then Abaddon sits up.
Mm-hmm. Very Undertaker. but hopefully without the shitty political opinions.
I definitely hope so, yeah.
So, yeah, no, they just start fighting. Cheetah gets bit on the thigh.
Yeah, she goes for like that knee lift onto the apron and gets caught.
They tumble out of the ring at some point. Abaddon enters the ring at the count of 6 to break the count. Then grabs Cheetah and drags her under the ring. Now, Erin, who was refereeing this match?
The lovely and wonderful Bryce Remsburg.
And what referee sells these weird bits better than any other referee in the business?
The lovely and wonderful Bryce Remsburg.
So what did Bryce Remsburg do when Cheetah was dragged under the ring?
He spit under the ring.
I adore Bryce Remsburg so much. If you like, I love all of I like, we obviously love Aubrey, right?
Yes.
But if there is a referee that encompasses what I want from a, like, in the off chance some lifetime other than this one, if I became a wrestling referee, I would want to be Bryce Remsburg.
Yeah. Honestly, Bryce Remsburg is the very fun and interactive ref that really is that extra element that can pull you into a match. Aubrey is the very serious main event ref. When she's out there, there are not shenanigans. Everything's by the book, and she will call everything. She's the red shoes of AEW.
Yeah, a little bit.
With a little more power, because
it's not a New Japan ref.
New Japan refs have no power.
I mean, like, we could do an entire Bryce Remsburg special if we wanted to. The topic for this week,
on that one match where he gets shot.
Bryce Remsburg, the match where he gets shot, the Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan match that he refed because he had Janela vision from Joey Janela's sunglasses, so he was able to see both of them. He refereed a match between two invisible men, which meant that he had to sell literally everything.
Yep.
Including a top balcony spot.
Although the door spot is beautiful and needs to be seen.
I agree.
I'm not going to spoil that one. You got to go watch it for yourself.
Bryce has done so many good spots. Him getting upset that he got shot is probably one of my favorite things. Is that going to be our recommendation, is fun Bryce Remsburg matches?
I'm finding the one of Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan. This is going to be my recommendation for today.
Okay. Good to know.
I'll post this at the end of the show. Now that you've reminded me, I was like, no, yeah, people need to see this.
I appreciate the fact that they're giving Cheetah and Abaddon a chance to have this, like, feud that they have going on.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And even though they are given no time, they have done so much already. Even just like...
They were given they were given about 9 minutes for this segment.
Yeah, but like the interview spot where Cheetah heard things fall over and jumped, that did so much. Like, Cheetah is scared of Abaddon. They've had 2 matches and Cheetah's barely made it through both.
Cheetah came away with bite marks on her neck after this match.
Very cool effect. They did really good on that.
We get a little preview of the NWA Women's Championship match that's coming up.
Yeah, that is Serena Deeb and Ty Conti, I believe.
Yep. And Ty came out with Silver Reynolds and Anna Jay. So she may or may not become a full-fledged member of the Dark Order.
She's Dark Order adjacent.
Kind of like Hangman.
Yeah.
We get a little...
I think that brings us to the... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we get a little pre-match segment where Death Triangle hype up Phoenix.
Yep. So yeah, Pac cut a promo for Phoenix and Mox cut a promo for Phoenix on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to hear Phoenix cut a promo for Phoenix at some point.
I don't know how good Phoenix's English is.
Honestly, let him do it in Spanish.
I would prefer to have him do it in Spanish and they just subtitle it too.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be great.
But yeah, that brings us into the main event, which is Kenny Omega taking on Rey Fenix for the AEW Championship.
The AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Kenny Omega. Put respect on his title.
something North Carolina. That's all I got.
Yes. The best in the world versus a man made of springs.
Yep.
But not to be confused with Springman, the character from ARMS from Nintendo on the Nintendo Switch.
No, completely different. Frankly, I think Phoenix could kick his ass. And
I don't know. He's got reach on him.
I think Phoenix is springier though.
Okay.
Because he bounced off everything. Like, even when he took bumps, he bounced.
Mm-hmm. This was a fun match though. Like, I had a good time watching this match. It was a well-fought match. Kenny Omega and Don Callis are both bastard men, and I love them for it. I have a thing where my favorite characters are always bastard men.
Yeah, you do.
It's the same reason I like Travis Madigo on Campaign Podcast. Terrible, irredeemable bastard men who are also the best.
Like, you can definitely see in this match that Kenny and Phoenix have had several matches together that were high stakes, where they gel together so well, and they can do like these very fast, hard-hitting spots and just go for the 20 minutes they went for this one. Yeah,
there's just a lot that happened. I mean, like, a lot that happened. The V trigger followed by was it an enziguri? Like,
yep.
Kenny hits a V trigger. Phoenix bounces off of the mat and comes back up with an enziguri and kicks Kenny in the back of the... Like, it was so good.
These great exchanges, yeah.
Rey Fenix does a very good looking frog splash.
Very good tribute to Eddie there. And Phoenix doing a dive through the ropes and almost going over Kenny. Which is a thing I've seen him do in other promotions. Where he'll just keep going into the crowd. Right.
I mean, like, the Tiger Driver 98 into a V-Trigger combo.
The Tiger Driver that caught Rey jumping off the ropes.
Yes. It was just a beautiful sequence. It's probably on YouTube if you want to watch it.
If not, find a replay of Dynamite. It is worth finding. I know it's on Fight.
I mean, like, this was a opportunity coming off of immediately after 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
For Kenny to be like, Wrestle Kingdom, so what? I don't care what Kota Ibushi did. I don't care what Kota Ibushi did. I'm going to make him jealous with this match.
Yeah, didn't Jericho directly call out Ibushi too during the commentary? Yeah. I will say I was very hopeful that Kenny would have gone for the behind the head Kamigawa.
Nope, that's magic. Kamigoya.
Yep. Kamigoya.
That's not even it. Kamigoya.
Whichever. I can only try these so many
times.
No,
I was correcting myself there. But yeah, no, I was hoping for a little reference to Ibushi, but at the same time, I'm fine with what they did.
Yeah, they can't do a whole lot because you don't want to start teasing that now when everything is still very uncertain.
Right. You don't want to start teasing that now when you've got another thing to tease.
Which came after this match.
Yes. Callis gets on the mic and he says there's a reason that Pac isn't here and there's a reason Penta isn't here. We cut to the back and Pac and Penta have been attacked by Eddie Kingston and his family partner.
Yep.
Callis promises Ray Phoenix another one-winged angel that will put him into retirement or some weird Don Callis bullshit that he says there.
Very over the top.
Oh God, I love it. I live for this story. Mox comes out, hits Kenny with a barbed wire bat.
Because that's what you do when you're Mox.
Mm-hmm. Callis runs away and says, no. And Jericho goes, yes! And it's very funny. Then, surprise, surprise, there's a run-in. Who could it be who's coming here to help out Kenny Omega? It's the Good Brothers. Gallows and Anderson are here.
But they're not in AEW.
They're not in... Yeah, I believe specifically Jericho does say they're not in AEW. They don't have contracts.
They don't work here.
Yeah, no, that was the line. They don't work here.
That's the same thing he said to Mox when he showed up too. You don't work here.
Then, they start stomping out Mox, and everyone runs in from ringside because the heels, the faces, all of whatever side of the ring you're on, everyone's mad at Kenny Omega.
Yeah, no, this guy sold you out. He's doing Impact crap now. He's bringing Impact wrestlers here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good invasion.
Basically, a bunch of jobbers hopped onto the apron. Gallows and Anderson take them out.
Wearing the Impact Tag Team titles.
Fuego goes through a table.
Yep. Poor Fuego. Should have gone for a tornado DDT.
Mm-hmm.
Could have cleared the ring. And that brings out, eventually, the Young Bucks to see just what the hell is going on in their ring.
Mm-hmm. The Young Bucks try to hold back the Good Brothers and try to talk them out of attacking, everything like that. But then Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. grab the arms of Kenny Omega from behind.
Yeah, so Gallows takes the belt to Brian Pillman.
And we get a super kick to Griff Garrison by the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks turned on their own roster.
Mm-hmm. To protect their friend. Because their friendship matters a lot to them.
Yep. And it brings out a little bit of a little too sweet action in the ring.
Kenny's you wanna do it? You wanna do the thing? We're getting the band back together.
And Gallows and Anderson are right on it.
And then Matt and Nick are
yeah, they were not feeling it. In the backstage interview where they took the promotional photos, they were much more into it. They had their game faces on then.
Matt did. Nick did not.
Yeah, Nick was also hurt, so I can't really blame him. He apparently injured himself in their match.
They could make it a storyline, though. It's AEW, they've done weirder. Also, Don Callis through that whole thing was just coming buckets. Like, I don't know another way to describe it.
Yeah, no, I got you. I hear you.
But, like, just like, the entire time, making all of these orgasm faces, because they're too sweet. Make the foxes kiss.
Yeah. And that's where we left off. Until next week's Dynamite.
Yes, it is.
What a week it's been.
Yeah, it's been a week of wrestling.
Like, I had to start a new folder for the 2021 marquees, and there's already 3 entries in
That's
2
right.
categories.
Erin, we forgot the most important part of Wrestle Kingdom. Jay White's promo.
Oh, God. So, yeah, Jay White goes in the back. He does his press release promo. And he doesn't really take any questions. He's just sitting there. He pulls himself up to the stage like he can barely walk.
Slams his water down.
And he just screams, will someone fucking help me?
Like,
I don't know what I'm doing here anymore.
They're foxes, I assume. They're foxes. Anyway. No, they just, the whole, like, that whole promo was just so visceral. Like, he pushes over the table and starts screaming, will somebody fucking help me?
Yeah, it's a 10-minute long promo, too.
Oh my god, giving a guy 10 minutes on the mic to just scream.
Like,
and
there are guys who are very good on mic that I still don't think I would give a solid, unfiltered 10 minutes to.
No.
But Jay White, holy crap.
He basically, like, he basically, like, announced that he quit.
Yeah, he's saying he doesn't know what he's doing in New Japan anymore. He can't hit any of the goals he sets for himself, so what do you do after that?
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's worked or not. Everything's a work.
Everything's work. Everyone's a touch of reality. Everything's a touch of reality, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see where Jay White goes, but I will be following wherever he goes very closely because he is a tremendous talent, and I love being able to watch him on the mic.
And in the ring, and everything.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, like, it's all good. It's all good for me. Did we want to talk about... Wait. Did we cover... Or was that after the marquees? This would have been right after the marquees. Okay. I think. Big E delivered what is actually the best promo of 2020.
It was, because we put up a correction tweet, I believe.
We did. Yes, we did. Big E did a whole thing where he talked about building a condo development on Sami Zayn's behind.
Yep.
And it was so good. God, I love Big E.
Yeah, oh my god, it is not...
It's the last.
It's not a promo I expected to hear.
Exactly. It's the last thing you'd expect from a WWE promo, but we're building condo developments on Sami Zayn's butt.
He lays it all out on Sammy's butt.
Mm-hmm. There's a pool, a gym, there's a laundry facility, there's
a community center.
He's wearing a hard hat throughout this entire promo. It's very fucking funny. Okay. Last topic before we end the show, because we've been going for almost 2 hours already.
Funny how that happens.
Let's talk about this Twitter thread that I retweeted earlier.
Yeah, it's pretty damning, is what it is.
So, Harley R. Glitterbomb on Twitter at YRE CHO Hart. I will link his Twitter. I'll link the tweet, in fact.
Yeah.
Has done an analysis of all 67 episodes of AEW Dynamite and all 9 AEW pay-per-views to look at the win-loss record and number of appearances from women on AEW.
And specifically leaves out Dark and the Tag Team Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Because those were not main promotion shows.
They were not televised.
Yeah.
And that is a distinct difference for the visibility of talent.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, at the end of the day, you might be padding records on Dark with your 15-match shows. But, like, people don't give a shit about the YouTube only. Like, we stopped talking about Dark almost entirely unless something good happens. That's rare.
Like, I'll plug through a couple matches when I see it go up. But, you know, like, we've had times where we'll do something else on YouTube and just be screen sharing. And it's still going at 9:30, almost 10 o'clock at night.
It's like 2.5 hours of just, like, job
Yeah.
to pad out people's records.
Now, again, the matches are better than they were at the start of the pandemic, but that's too much.
It's just too many matches.
I can't process that much going on in just straight wrestling matches.
If it was like 7, maybe 8 matches in that length, sure.
Yeah.
Those are going to be good matches. But yeah, so most episode appearances, the top of the list is Britt Baker, then Brandy, then Sheeta, then Penelope Ford, then Nyla Rose, then Allie, then Big Swole, and then Reba after that.
Yep.
Sorry, Rebel.
It's Rebel, not Reba, as appears in the lower third.
And then that's just appearances. Like, you have to consider the fact that a lot of Brandy's, Allie's, and Penelope Ford's appearances have been as valets.
And Britt Baker stuff is mainly when she was injured.
Yeah, she was doing those, like, the promos and everything like that. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot.
Which was good for keeping her in public eye, but it's not the same as women's matches being wrestled.
Yeah, now, Britt Baker had a total of 48 appearances on televised or pay-per-view AEW shows.
Yeah.
She has had total 22 matches on televised or pay-per-view AEW shows.
Yep.
The next highest is Sheeta with 29. It's Sheeta, Britt Baker, Nyla Rose. And now it is important to note that both Chris Statlander and Britt Baker did get injured last year.
Yeah,
Statlander's still out.
Hasn't been able to keep as visible.
But even so, when was she gonna get booked?
Yeah.
So the most matches, Sheeta has 29, Britt Baker has 22, Nyla Rose has 20, Chris Statlander and Riho both have 13, Big Swole has 12, Penelope Ford has 8, Brandy, Serena Deeb, Eva Lise, B. Priestley, who's not even fucking on the roster, Emi Sakura, who's not even fucking on the roster, Allie, all of them, up to Emi Sakura at 6, Allie, Thunder Rosa, Anna Jay, Awesome Kong, and Diamante at 5. That
is not a good spread.
No. Only 3 women have wrestled a televised match at least once a month on average since AEW first started. 53 different women have competed for AEW. 24 have made it onto TV or pay-per-view twice. Or more.
Yeah.
Abaddon and Leva Bates have had fewer TV appearances than Emi Sakura and B. Priestley.
Yep. And we saw how hype I get for Abaddon already. Mm-hmm. And, like, the records themselves do honestly show this. Like, with Sheeta sitting at 19-2, whereas Nyla's 10-4.
Right.
Or Red Velvet is 0-4 on televised shows.
Penelope Ford is 14-9 overall.
Mm-hmm.
0-3 on televised shows. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, no, it's not a good look when you relegate the majority of a division to the extra content.
Jake Hager's wife has appeared on 4 episodes of Dynamite.
Or pay-per-views.
Or pay-per-views.
Yeah.
That's as many episodes as Leva Bates has wrestled.
Yeah.
That's more than Abaddon and Tay Conti have been on Dynamite. Like, what do you do with that? How do you fix that?
Like, you have to open up time for this. It has to be more than one match every 2 weeks.
That's in effect what it is one match every 2 weeks, and most of the time it's Sheeta.
Yep. And it's like, okay, we all understand for a while now that they're looking to get that third hour of television somewhere in the week when they have a form of stability, but we can't sit on that excuse anymore.
No.
You have a whole division floundering with no real direction that the viewer base can see. You might have one in the back. There might be a very solid plan of where everything's going to go. We can't see that.
And, like, that third hour of television would do so much for them, but they just, like, it's hard to care. It's hard to care about a women's division that doesn't show up.
Yeah. But like I said, one match every 2 weeks.
We're lucky. We got a match 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Which, mainly through unfortunate circumstances, but it's gotta be fixed within the framework they're working with right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, by the time you get to where you can show off everything here, nobody's going to care. Because they're already going to think nothing's going to happen. And you can see that through WWE programming.
Yep.
Nobody cares about a lot of the stories that go on because they don't make sense. They won't make sense. And the only thing that actually matters is the outcome of the pay-per-view match. Because that's what they trained people to do for 30 years.
The entire show has X-Pac heat. You know, okay, we got a match coming up, bathroom break time.
Yeah.
It's deeply damning that they're not able to do more with the women that they have, let alone the women that they're trying to attract to the company, if there are any. If they want to be a viable alternative to WWE, they have to strengthen what they can deliver for their women's division.
Especially when their direct competition, NXT, has noticed that weakness and has a strong women's division.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want a weekly strong women's division, you watch NXT. I don't, because I can't.
I don't, because I don't want to support WWE in any material way.
Like, even if I went to the network, I'm in Canada, where I have to go through a cable company to get it, which is just stupid.
So,
but hey, we love monopolies up here.
Yeah. Basically, I want to see AEW more. I want to see AEW's women's division more. I'm sorry, I got distracted by reading about that guy who tasered himself in the balls.
God damn it, Cat. But yeah, it's one of those things where I've come to expect AEW has a plan or can form a plan for most anything they're thrown with. But you're not introducing anything to this, so it's becoming difficult to think that there is one. And I'm getting frustrated at it.
Yeah, there's only so much we can be told there's a plan before we start to doubt that there was ever a plan.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. So that's that. That's all I have to say on that matter. Erin, did you have anything else?
I'm just going to drop this recommendation in for everyone. Invisible Man vs. Invisible Stan. See the majesty that is Bryce Remsburg.
It's a very fun match. I strongly recommend watching it.
There's a reason he's so over in AEW and why he was pulled in so quickly.
Yes. Anything else we want to talk about tonight?
No.
Okay. I think it's probably a good time to end the show.
Yep.
Okay.
We're going for 2 hours now.
Yeah. Yeah, we have. Okay. In that case, I will bid you all adieu. Erin, one more time. Good night, everyone.
Marking Out with My Girlfriend is a production of Soses Media. Check us out at soses.ca. Music has been provided by Sounds Like an Earful.